Uh-oh.
No.
There we go. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to another episode of Questlog, the weekly show about video games old and new. My name is Tyler Everett, and I am joined by two of the most wonderful fellas that I know, Brian Maxwell and Luke Phillips. How you guys doing?
Flattered. Great.
Yeah, it's true.
Happy August 26th.
I appreciate you guys. It is August. Wait, 25th?
No.
Not yet, Brian. We're
24 minutes.
We're on the razor's edge.
Jumping the gun on us here.
Still technically the 25th for a couple more minutes. How you guys doing? How's the week treated you?
Gold. All week long, baby. Gold.
All the goods, huh?
Don't stop.
I am not feeling like gold. It's been a busy week for me.
Yeah. Your job's been shitty.
It's just busy. New roles and responsibilities and some adjustment to that. But it's okay. I took a nap and here I am.
God, I miss naps.
What a kingly gift that you can give yourself. Just kick back, take a little nap. Did you get a juice box after? Because that's the way to do it.
Man.
Wake up, get that juice, get that
Get a
little
cookie.
bit of... Get you right back in the game.
Should have got some juice and a comic book and just sat on the toilet and drink my juice and read my comic book.
Took a
Flip it
turn.
backwards. No,
Yep.
you sit
Tyler got
backwards.
it.
Yeah, you ride cowboy style, and then you got a little shelf for your juice and for your comics. And you just
I've been using the toilet all wrong.
You have
it's a
to
little shelf right there.
take a lesson from Butters.
Yeah, it's a South Park reference, Brian. Come on,
I'll Google it.
try to keep up. Well, that's good. Yeah, this week's been rough on me. I broke 2 bikes and a car. I don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong.
You need to learn to transportation.
I really do. Like, pretty soon I'm gonna start breaking buses. Like, just look out, Blue Water Area Transit. I'm coming for you. Breaking down them buses. So yeah, I can't win there, but I think I might. Yeah, I should be fine. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Just
Transportation
don't
is
walk and trip
overrated.
and fall.
Oh yeah, start ruining my feet. That'd be bad.
That's bad.
But you know what? It's 2017, you guys. I mean, it's September. It's the best time to be playing video games.
It's not September.
It's not? No, it's almost September, isn't it? It's more close
Basically
enough.
September.
August, September. Who's keeping track? Anyway,
August 26th, September, whatever.
yeah, we're getting there.
It's time's real fluid here.
It's wibbly wobbly.
Yeah, timey-wimey.
With that, let's talk about the games that we played this week in August. That's the wrong... There we go. There we go. There's the right music. All right.
Episode 45 is when it all comes together. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. I totally got this. Brian, you and I, we done ranched some slimes this week.
We did done ranch.
I had a harder time doing that than you for some reason.
Yeah, get good.
I done loaded up Slime Rancher and it defaulted to like 800 by 600, just real poopy looking, lowest
It
settings.
did that for me too.
And I was like, come on, man, I got a decent graphics card. I can bump this up to very high or ultra or whatever. So I did that and I got into the game. I started looking around my ranch, went over to a few different little plots of land, and all of a sudden my battery backup started making this sound, like it was about to power off everything. I was like, oh, that's weird.
Get in your bunker.
That ain't good. No, that'll probably stop though. No big deal. And then all of a sudden, everything plugged into it shut off, and I was like,
So it stopped.
Okay, that's bad.
It fixed itself.
I go to log back in, and like Steam has forgotten where the installation for that game is, and the Steam family sharing stuff all broke, and so we couldn't
Hacks.
launch the game. And I was like, man, that sucks. Bummer. Like maybe I had too much stuff going. I think I had Diablo 3 up in another window and stuff. So I'm like, maybe it was
That's
just
probably not
I
great.
don't know. It was probably too much work on that card there. So anyway, so I sort all that stuff out, right? And I get back in the game, I launch it again. It remembered my settings, thankfully, and instantly, as soon as the game loaded to the part where like all the slimes are coming on the screen, same thing. Battery backup starts going off again. I'm like, oh, okay, something weird's going on. So I started doing some Googling and whatever. I shut the game off and it instantly stops. So like, there's something weird about the game when you have it cranked all the way up, where it's like drawing too much power. But there's several posts on like the Steam forums and stuff of people saying that it's crashing their computers. So I just dropped it down one notch and it's perfect after that. Everything's fine. So
Oh, good. I'm glad you got it sorted out.
yeah. You are much further ahead than I am. I'm watching your gameplay video here, and you got...
This is end game times.
Okay, all right. You're sucking up chickens. You got onions.
Yeah. And hens, man.
And hens, yeah.
Yeah. Stay on theme.
Sorry. You have some cool electric cat phase fish.
Got some quantum slimes there.
Yeah.
Quantum
That's
kitty
pretty
slimes.
Cool. That's pretty neat. So where are you? So you said this is end game now. You're almost done.
I think I am done. I saw credits this week.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like the stories are real loose. Like there's some text that you find throughout the game that gives you little like journal snippets, but there's not really much story to speak of. I saw the last of those, and I saw credits, and then it just dumps you back into the game. You can keep on playing.
Gotcha.
But I've seen all the areas. I've seen all the slimes. There's not really much left to do other than chase achievements, and that as the sole reason to play a game. I'm not really into that. So
right.
I put about 20 hours in or so, 20, 25 hours.
Got some crazy looking slimes there. That's pretty neat.
Yep, that's oh god, whirlwind slime and mosaic slime
mixed together.
Mixed together. Yep.
That's cool.
How many different slime combinations did you encounter in your playthrough? I'm curious.
Top of my head, I want to say there's like that many. So 16. There's 16 different types, and you can mix any two of them together. So you can get pretty out there as far as different combinations goes. But
so what I found, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but is it that when you combine two of them, they form a big one, a Largo? Is that what it is? So then at that point, they're plorts or they're little crystal poops.
Yeah.
It shoots out two of those, right? Like one for each.
Usually one of each.
Okay.
I think it's if you give them their favorite food, they'll shit out one of each.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there seems like there's like just enough depth to keep it interesting all the way through, but it's not so crazy that
it's not off-putting.
It's like super overwhelming. The only thing
the exploration's pretty fun. There's a lot of little nooks and crannies to find.
Yeah, the game just feels good. Like the way there's just enough floatiness to the jumping, and there's just enough like I don't know, like the movement feels very smooth, and
the running around feels good.
The running around feels good. Yeah, I tried to Levi my way through some of the levels here, like you were saying your son did. I was like climbing around the rocks and trying to jump to different places, and that was pretty fun. I think I'm gonna put some more time into it. It was very relaxing to me.
It's I'm super happy with it. It's one of the best things I've played this year for sure.
And I did encounter a couple of those little like journal things. They're like a little hologram pedestal that you find, and it has it's about like the rancher that was there before you, and it's it's all done in a real charming and bright and colorful way, and I like it a lot.
I was finding that I didn't put a lot of thought into the layout of my farm, and that started to be a pain because once you combine two slimes together, you can't suck them up into the vacuum anymore. like they don't fit, they're too big. So when I wanted to move things into different pens, I had to like grab one and walk it across the ranch and shoot it into its other pen, and then grab the next one and walk across the ranch.
Hmm.
And there kind of came a point where I had so much upkeep on my farm that I couldn't go explore anymore because there was always stuff that needed doing. So I started kind of, scaling back a little bit. It's like I don't need 18 of these in this pen. I'm gonna have 5.
Yeah, I'm at the point where I'm still trying to like work out how many things I needed. Like I had 20 slimes and a pink slimes in a pen at first, and I was like, this doesn't seem efficient at all. Like I just fired
those things
half
are
of those
everywhere.
I fired those right into the abyss, and then
Yeah, and they were smiling and giggling all the way down.
yeah, I was bouncing them off of like these trees and just watching them go blink, blink, just like yeah, it was real entertaining.
Yeah, like until you get the science lab, you don't really need the pink slimes around
Okay,
so much.
just keep them the cat ones, huh?
Yeah,
Well,
the cat ones, the
kitty
little
cats.
firefly ones,
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, it's cool. It's got that little bit of a Pokemon aspect of like catch them
It's
all
charming.
and get yeah, that too, and just like collecting them all and trying to change the different types and mix and match them. That's appealing to me.
It's got
Would you
upgrades to
say
chase down.
would you say that this game would benefit from multiplayer?
No, I don't.
No?
I mean, I'm trying to picture how that would look, and I'm kind of coming up empty. It seems like, this is your ranch. You set it up. You go explore. You could have 2 people manage it, I guess. But
I'm just envisioning someone that could stay behind and manage the farm and the feeding and the collecting, and someone could be out and you're getting chickens or finding other slimes and bringing them back.
I could, I could see that working, I suppose. I read a forum post about it where the devs responded saying, like all the slime physics with shooting them and then bouncing around, like getting that to sync up across multiple devices is a real big challenge. So like they might fit multiplayer in, but not anytime soon.
It's understandable.
Yeah, I could see that.
And it's a smaller team. It's not a huge
Mhm.
developer. So man, the world is just real interesting. You're going through portals and jumping through stuff, and I'm nowhere near any of that yet. So this is looking
Yeah,
real
I hope
cool.
you stick with it.
Yeah, I think I will. It's been a
really
nice
good.
change of pace to like, if Diablo's beating me up real bad, I'll just go, you know what? All right, I'm done in there, and I'll just come hang out and play around with some jelly creatures.
Yep. It's a little bit like Stardew Valley where there's lots of shit to do, but you never have to go and do any one thing. You can just take it all at your own pace.
Yeah, that's refreshing. Well, cool, man. Yeah, I'm glad I tried it. Thanks for recommending it, and yeah, I'm gonna keep at it and see what other crazy little slimes I can find. I mentioned Diablo. I know you guys have been dying to hear me talk more about that. I am still chasing down sets for the different classes and trying to complete their subsequent set dungeons. I nailed down 2 more sets for the wizard and 1 for the necromancer last night, so that was pretty exciting. I'm getting into this rhythm where it's like I do a bunch of like greater rifts and then some regular rifts and try to like get gear through that. And then when I run out of Death's Breath, I switch back over to my Crusader, who's got like a speed farming set, and I join a group, and then I just go do like 3 rifts and get hundreds of Death's Breath, so that I can go back and use those to reroll like duplicate set pieces on the other
Go
characters.
back to the slot machine. Yep.
Yep, and there's just kind of like this. I have like a rhythm now of do this until I run out of stuff, and then switch back over to the other guy, farm up some more materials, and then switch back over. And usually after a few rounds of that, I've got more sets that I can then go and try to do the dungeons for. And it's just been, I don't know, it's been a really cool challenge. I know I've talked to this to death already, but like I came across the Veer set, which is based around an Archon build for the wizard. And I looked online, I found some build guides, and told you what runes to equip and what gear you needed. And I didn't have all of the gear that I needed. And I was like, man, every time I pop out of Archon form, I'm running out of arcane power, basically mana, right? And I just kept feeling it over and over and over again. And so finally I'm like, well, let me switch up these runes and do it and see if I can get some arcane power back on my attacks. And after that, I think I got it the second try after I switched up my stuff. That felt really good to be like, you know, crafting it myself and like adapting to these real specific challenges and finding my own way to finish the thing instead of just, you know, doing the cookie cutter build that I found online. That was pretty cool.
Have you found the melee mage build yet?
Kinda. There's
I
not,
want to see that.
there's not a, so there's not really a way to make
Not a set for it.
Well, the wizard doesn't have any abilities that give you like a physical attack. Like you're never gonna see them
Well, right.
swing
I
a
just
weapon.
mean like up in your face, though.
But there's definitely a few up in your face builds, yeah. So
Like I know Arcane Orb has one where like little orbs, you know, like
rotate
spin around you. Yep, and he's got the explosion one that just explodes right around your position.
The one that I tried that was kind of like that is the Delcer's Magnum Opus set. What it does is it makes it so that you can cast slow time like pretty much every 3 seconds or so. So, and anything caught in your slow time takes extra damage from certain spells. So you equip like Spectral Blades, which is kind of a melee attack, just right in front of you. And your Wave of Force, which like pushes stuff back, is a part of that build. There's certain runes that you take, so like the dungeon for that one makes it so that you have to catch a bunch of projectiles within your slow time field. It creates like this, you know, like time stop barrier. So you see all these projectiles like arrows and fireballs and stuff kind of like stop and then start slowly coming to you. You use Wave of Force to knock them back to the people that are shooting them, and then carve them up with your Spectral Blades. It's a pretty fun build. And it was kind of, you know, you're using that plus teleport to kind of like jump around between mobs and dodge stuff. It was pretty cool.
That's neat.
Yeah, that's the part that's keeping me like going on this, because I think it's really easy to like create a new character for the season, get the free set that comes with it, find the right build for that set, and then just, you know, play that until you can't really do anymore.
Follow the blueprint. Sure.
Yeah, you follow the blueprint and you know, you get your gear and just keep doing that, and like that's fun for so long. But then you eventually hit a wall and you can't really do that anymore. Where this is like, as many sets as I can collect, I've got some new challenge to try to overcome. And that's been a real driving force, real motivator to keep me playing the game. So yeah, still way into it.
That's neat. Yeah, you're getting value out of it.
Yeah, it's cool.
I think I'm just about done with it for this season.
Yeah. And I think that's like you were kind of doing what I was talking about there, Luke, where it was like you've got the one, you know, your Necro's like super powerful. You're pushing way higher greater rifts than I've been able to do yet. But that kind of has you're like, there's a power curve, and I think you're hitting the
I'm plateaued.
Yeah, you're hitting a plateau there for sure.
Without putting a lot of time into, you know, getting a small increase in damage somewhere, like 0.5% or something.
Right.
If the play style feels the same constantly, that's got to get old sooner or later.
Yeah, it's no Whirlwind Barbarian, so it's you can't just spin to win.
Yeah. So I'm that's why I'm finding it more compelling, I think, right now. But
I went to one of the Necromancer dungeons, and it was okay. And I saw some of them, and I was like, I don't want to go through and find every set piece and try to finish these. But
that's the cool thing.
It's not my jam, but it's awesome that this game has that in there. Whereas I can go in, I can just run greater rifts and have, you know, endless fun for a couple of hours, and you can do your thing. And they've done so much with this game, and you know, who would have thought when this game was released that it would turn into this?
Right.
And O'Brien, we were talking earlier, yesterday or today, about the Infernals and just how bad it was on max level. And
yeah, it was so disappointing because I loved the game up to that point, but you just hit a wall, and I
It
would have to
was
work my ass off to get through it.
it wasn't a gradual progression either. I
No.
remember on my barbarian at the time, I farmed Act 1 for just days and days and days and sold stuff on the shop for gold, bought stuff on the shop for gold, and just it's
Ready
like, all
for Act
right,
2 now?
I'm feeling confident in this. I'm going to go to Act 2, and little mosquito things that shoot out smaller mosquitoes instantly just wipe me out. Not an elite
Yeah.
pack or anything, just the standard
We're,
run of the mill mob.
Can you guys remind? Like, I never got this far during the original, vanilla version of D3. Did they have armor set items back then, or was it
Yeah.
just
They
They
had
still had the
sets,
same-
yeah. They just
okay.
didn't have like adventure mode. They didn't have rifts.
right?
None of that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
set
just
items came in Diablo 2.
okay. Yeah, I just when I played it, I never had anything better than like the occasional legendary and mostly yellow gear. So
Well, yeah, and that's just it. Is they went through and dramatically increased the drop rate for legendaries and sets,
Hmm.
yeah,
and bumped up the damage incredible on them. So, yeah, I mean, to get the amount of gear that you or I have on any of our characters, oh my god, I can't imagine
That
the
would-
amount of farming you would have had to do in vanilla.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I'm glad that like I'm finally I'm finally like loving this game because it's I didn't love it at all when I first got it and it was real disappointing to me and I just thought I kind of shelved it. I thought like I guess Diablo is not for me. I guess
Isn't
I'm
for
just
me,
not
yeah.
I'm not a Diablo guy, I guess. And now I'm like the Diablo guy. This is
Yeah,
one
I
of
think
my absolute favorite games. So
Yeah.
I think it cost me $100 total for the game and the expansion pack, and it's been worth every penny. I keep saying it owes me nothing. I've gotten I don't know how many. I don't know if I want to know how many hours.
Oh my god. I looked at my Whirlwind Barbarian the other day and it was 40 plus hours.
Yeah, I've gotten
Yeah.
hundreds of hours
Yeah.
easily.
yep.
Yeah, same here. And the crazy thing about it is, 6 months down the road, another year from now, they could have a whole new content patch, and we could be talking about this again and talking about
Right.
running rifts.
I expect they're going to keep on adding characters to it.
I
Maybe
think so.
yearly. That wouldn't surprise me. I think the Necromancer's been pretty well received.
Yep.
There are so many necromancers online.
Yep.
They made a fortune on that.
Yeah, and if you're one of the guys like me who's just like give me all the sets, let me track all that stuff down, and like I'm gonna play every class now. That wasn't something that I really intended on doing before, but that's my goal now is to get every single set in the game and at least complete all of the dungeons. Maybe not master all of them, but like at least pass the objectives to get credit for them. And it might take me 3 more seasons or so to finally do that, but like I'm now very invested in the new seasons and definitely any expansions or stuff that they decide to do for the game. So it's cool, man. I'm getting a lot of value out of it for sure.
I think the last 3 BlizzCons I've just been sitting like, okay, like
Please,
what's
Diablo.
coming out for Diablo, and they do like a 45-minute panel about the artwork of Diablo, and that's it.
Yeah, that is real depressing. Like
I remember one year the section for the bathrooms was larger than the entire Diablo
Yeah.
booth area.
that was last year, I think. There was quite a bit of controversy about that. And this year, like Blizzard was just at Gamescom. They just had a bunch of announcements, and I'll kind of cover some of that stuff for at least one of those games in a minute here. But like WoW's getting a huge new patch, and Heroes is getting a new character in an event. Overwatch is getting new maps, and Diablo wasn't even mentioned really. So it's kind of becoming the redheaded stepchild of Blizzard, and that feels kind of bad. But we did just get the Necromancer like a month or 2 ago now. So I mean, it wasn't the biggest content patch, but it was something at least. And yeah, I could just I'd be down with any more news they want to share.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Throw more Diablo at my face, please.
Please, pretty please,
Blizz, please.
Cool.
Do you think they would ever do anything like loot crates or boxes for Diablo?
Yes,
Yes.
I absolutely think they would, and I think that they actually had. So a while ago, there was like this data mining thing somebody did. I want to say it was maybe almost a year ago now, where they found like a ton of different colored wings and like portraits and like extra stuff that wasn't in the game yet, and it was all tied to some kind of like microtransaction thing. And what they
Isn't
said,
that the
like,
Chinese version?
yeah, somebody said that this was something that they were going to be doing in China as part of these promotions for their I think it was China and Taiwan for their like gaming cafes that they have set up over there, because that's how most people play games over there. They don't own a PC in their house. They go to like one of these cafes and they pay for time and they log into their characters and play that way. So there's like, it was like partnerships with those cafes to allow them to like sell these items through there, and it was like a different way to fund the game because players aren't actually buying copies of the game over there. So I could totally see that. I could totally see that.
It's a real tricky thing with Diablo, though. I mean,
right.
You know, it isn't Heroes and it isn't Overwatch. All of Diablo is trying to find loot. You know, like what are you going to put in those chests? Either stuff you can't find in the game, which feels bad, or just like cosmetic stuff, maybe.
Please, only cosmetic.
That's all it was in that they found in those leaks was like portraits and wings and banners and stuff like that, like the cosmetic stuff, which I'm totally fine with. But
that'd be fine.
Yeah,
I don't
Even if it
wanna-
was like dye for armor and some transmogs,
like unique stuff, like transmog sets. Yeah, I could see that too.
yeah,
Wings.
I'd be fine with that.
But yeah, I don't know. I hope that doesn't happen. I'd like to be able to seek that stuff out and find it in the game, but who knows? If it makes them money, I'm not gonna rule it out. It's definitely a possibility. So
Yeah, there's still a business.
Yeah.
well, cool. I want to talk just brief. You know what, Luke? Actually, you played No Man's Sky, the patch.
I did.
Beyond
1.3.
just having your character wiped. This is interesting to me.
So I did it. I took the plunge. I deleted my save game of 50 plus hours and started brand new.
God damn.
And it's been an interesting experience. They've gone through and revamped the entire kind of starting experience. There's
That's
more.
good.
It's more quest based. It
So what you're
points
saying
to
is-
more of a
There is one now.
yes.
Okay.
So it's not just wake up next to your ship and have no idea what to do. You wake up next to your ship and it says, okay, you need to find this resource to fix this. You go
Okay.
here, build this item that will let you go and find this resource on the planet. Go to space, find this. And it definitely guides you along a lot better.
That's cool.
And they did something with the graphics because it looks pretty damn good too. I remember it was always a pretty good looking game, but they definitely did something with the shaders, it seems like. But
Like to
Yeah,
kind of like
it's-
smooth it out, or just like in general, it just looks better.
just in general, I guess higher textures or something, but like a lot more flashy effects, and it is something that looks pretty good.
I remember it being real bland looking when I played.
There's still some things. It has a real bad pop in as well. So like right now, I'm trying to find slot upgrades for my suit so I can carry more, and all they are is just like a drop ship with a little door on it and glows blue, and they're not that large. So I'm skimming across the planet's surface, and they'll just kind of pop in, and I have to like put on the brakes and turn around and try to find them, and it's a little tedious in that regard. I wish they would fix that, like longer draw distance.
Gotcha. Does it
But
still
it's-
take 20 minutes for you to get to your starting planet when you first load in?
Not 20 minutes, but the very, very first time you create a save file, I think it happens after a large patch too. There is a
Mm.
long loading time. It's something to do with their game engine.
I had the same experience, Tyler. It wasn't 20 minutes, but it might have been 5. It was long enough to I was just like, there's no loading bar, there's no text. Like, is this
Did
loading?
lock
Is it locked
Am
up?
am I
What's
stuck on a
happening?
cutscene or something? Yeah,
Right.
I thought the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah, it does do that still.
that's not inexcusable or anything. Like, I know that there's some infinite number of planets that the game has
Mhm.
procedurally generated, so it's going to take a minute to load them all up. I understand that. So
But
yeah,
every other loading time since then has been 10, 15 seconds.
something manageable.
Yeah, something that I don't really concern myself with.
That's cool. That's cool.
They've gone through and revamped how you get upgrades for your ships and suit and gun as well. Instead of just finding them randomly in different crates or boxes, you get things called nanites, which are basically just a different form of currency that you can take to a vendor, and they sell blueprints to you. And they got a ton more upgrades, it seems like, as well. Originally, it seemed pretty limited. You would get all the upgrades pretty quick and only use the ones that you wanted, that were most beneficial to you. But yeah, there's a ton more. So I'm kind of intrigued to see how I can load out my gun and what different play styles can do.
This poor fucking alien's stuck at a retail job. It says it's grimacing as you walk up, and it tries to smile but fails. Like,
Yeah,
I feel you there.
It's all
chin
too real,
flaps,
huh?
Yeah.
That was going to be my question, Lucas. How do you feel when you're playing the game? Like, what kind of emotions is this thing drawing out of you?
So I made a bold statement to Brian earlier in chat. I wasn't sure how he was going to react to it, but he reacted kind of positively to it. So I'm going to say it again. To me, this feels like Stardew Valley in space.
Boy, fuck
Okay.
you, Luke.
Oh, a little bit more negative this time.
I can see that.
Yeah. So they added farming into it. They added quests. There's factions that you can get it friendly with, and that gives you bonuses, better transactions in your sales. Ships. I mean, it's as far as how I feel though,
Yeah.
relaxed. There's a sense of exploration, a sense of wonder as, hey, like what kind of upgrade am I going to get next, and where's my next upgrade to my suit? Hey, that ship that's over there, how much is that going to cost me if I want to upgrade to it?
That's cool, because what I was hoping from like the early gameplay demos that I watched and the I don't know what I'm trying to, the early trailers and things like that. What I felt like I was sold was this universe that felt like endless. Like there was just, I could go anywhere and find any new crazy concoction of alien life and ruins and things like that, and that it would feel very lonely but also mysterious, and like there was some bigger, greater picture or narrative that was kind of hidden behind all of that. And it sounds like they've tried to add a little bit more of that story and those things to kind of like draw you into that, so you're not just, here's another planet with some rocks on it that I'm gonna laser gun for 20 minutes and then take them back. Like, that's all cool, I guess, to me. Like, that's the part I'm thinking of when you're saying it's kind of relaxing, but like what would really draw me in is if there was like some, like, I don't know, secret or mystery to the universe to drag you into it.
Yeah, so this 1.3 update, they did add quite a bit more of a storyline to it. I've just scratched the surface of that so far, so I can't really comment on it, but
Okay.
there's a lot more mystery into it. It seems like, before we've talked about how if you get to the center of the universe, it just starts you back over with a new game, essentially.
Yeah.
The end is just the beginning again.
I think they're kind of hinting at that, whereas there's multiple iterations or multiple dimensions of the same universe, and you're
Gotcha.
kind of a part of that. So they're tying it all together a little bit more now.
That's cool. I've always loved just like the art style and the UI and all of that has been very appealing to me. So I don't know, man. Maybe I'll try it. I mean, hell, I didn't like Diablo at first, and now I'm playing the shit out of it. So maybe No Man's Sky is the new Diablo. It's 2017's Diablo. Who knows?
It's still incredibly difficult for me to go through and actually recommend the game, though, because I know it's not for everybody.
Yep, I hear you, man. Well, I'm glad that you're trying it because somebody had to.
Yeah, someone's got to take one for the team.
Yeah,
I wasn't going to until you mentioned it the other day.
yeah, I might check that out again because I don't know. I really wanted to like that game. So if it's closer to what it looked like when we, first got looks at it, then I'm willing to check that out. So
there's a pretty long grind fest to get up money to buy some of the bigger end things, like the freighters themselves. Geez, I think I looked at one and it started at like 80 million credits, which is a lot. Like, I think I have 300,000 right now.
Gotcha.
So it takes a bit of time, but there's massive, like, Star Destroyer size looking freighters that I want to get.
It's good stuff, man. Real cool. I'm gonna kick it over to a game that I think I forgot to talk about last week. It's called Pyre.
Pyre?
Pyre. I played a little bit more Pyre, and
Pyre?
it's it's real good.
Pyre.
That game is cool. I didn't get super far, but I can see that it's something that I'm gonna play to the end. Like the whole world, the whole look and feel of the thing is just, I don't know how to describe it. It's like I want to click every single thing because it might do something.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Supergiant does world building.
Yeah, like
so
really
well.
So, and I can already see what's kind of going on is like you have your group of people that you pick up along the way, and you do these rites, and then you get to choose at certain points people to go back, and you lose them from your party, but they get their redemption. They get to leave this desolate wasteland that they've been stuck in, and go back to the city, and I can see how that can be a hard choice. Like there's already characters that I really dig that I don't want to lose, but I also feel like they really deserve to get back in there.
I was choosing for story reasons who to send home, and there was one that I was real tempted to lose on purpose. I kind of wish I had. Like my opponent I was just like, you deserve to get out of here. And then I mercilessly defeated them. But, I was torn about it.
You showed a semblance of remorse there. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, everything about it is just great. I didn't get super far, so I don't have like a ton to say about it. But other than if reading and beautiful art are something that you dig, and then also you want to shoot spells and try to get a basketball into a fire in some kind of space outland place, this is the game for you. This is the one.
Yeah, it's this weird RPG sci-fi sports hybrid thing that shouldn't work and doesn't make sense, but it works.
It works really, really well. Yep. You are kind of the non-player character in a way. You're kind of like this. You're called the reader in this game, and you're kind of like controlling these other people. You're not actually choosing a character to be or anything like that. So it's a little different, but it's something special. It's a really cool game, and I can't wait to finish it and see what happens in the story. That
is a very cool art style they have going on.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to say it took me like a dozen hours, maybe.
That's not too bad.
Finish it. Yeah.
That's real cool, man. Well, I'm glad that you showed me that. That was another Brian recommendation that I probably wouldn't have played otherwise. So appreciate that.
It's a strange one.
Yeah. But that's that. I gotta find your video here, Brian, for what you got there? Thimbleweed Park, huh? What's going on at Thimbleweed?
Yeah. I grabbed it a couple weeks ago. And, yep.
Okay.
Finally gave it a go this morning. Not my usual kind of game, but I played some adventure games back in the 1980s.
Okay.
Jesus.
You're so old.
I am so old. It was from the guy who made Maniac Mansion. It's a
Okay.
very similar kind of gameplay. It's like very pixelated adventure game where you're using verbs and interacting with objects. You know, you're using go to, open, pick up, push,
Right.
interacting with the world that way. It's a small town murder mystery story, but it's all very cartoony and tongue in cheek. Lots of like breaking the fourth wall, lots of humor.
Yeah.
I'm only a couple hours into it, but it's exactly what I wanted it to be.
Multiple
Yeah, this
characters,
was a
multiple
very strong
storylines.
recommendation that I figured you would enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
did a thing
watched
like
a few different streams of it, and it's so entertaining. The humor is spot on.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the same, Luke. I watched a few people play it in different parts of the game, and definitely it's got a lot of that charm, that 80s style charm. There's the hidden objects are called I think specks of dust.
Yep.
There's like specks of dust
Nods
hidden,
to the-
you know.
Pixel hunting you would have to do in these kind of games, just mousing over everything to see what popped up on your screen. Yeah.
Yeah, collect all the specks of dust.
Yep, the body's starting to go pixelated.
The humor is so good in it.
Yeah, so you've got multiple characters you can switch between, so you can move them around to different parts of the game world and switch between them.
Yeah, I think that's where the replayability would come from, right? Is like choosing who you want to finish the game with in your group.
Yeah, I think so. There's an obscene clown.
Yeah.
Yeah. the game
Oh, the
who's
clown
cursed.
is hilarious.
Can't remove his makeup, can't leave the circus.
Yep. It's
I'm
all
only a couple of hours into it, but
Good.
so far so good. I like the small town murder mystery thing. That's exactly my jam. I've got all the nostalgia for Maniac Mansion, so yep, I am digging it.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah. If you played Sam and Max, or gosh, what are some of those other ones?
Monkey Island.
Yeah,
Monkey Island, yep.
Grim Fandango is similar to that too. It's got kind of the same feel in all of those. So yeah, man,
I
cool.
almost bought Grim Fandango the other day.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I've
There's a
seen it
throwback.
real cheap multiple times. Yeah, I've never sat down and gone through it, but
I've heard nothing but good things about it, and it was in that article I sent you guys, the top 100 games from PC Gamer.
Know how to read. Sorry.
So yeah, it was listed in there, and I read it again. I was like, everything I always read about this game is so positive. How have I not played it yet?
Yeah. That's Double Fine, right?
I know it's
that does that.
Tim Schafer.
Schafer.
I'm not sure if it was Double Fine at the time or not, but I think it's associated with them now.
Tim Schafer knows how to do that shit real well. So the writing, the humor, all of that is, yeah, he's one of the best. So
He did Psychonauts and Day of the Tentacle.
what was the recent
Costume
one?
Quest.
There was there's like two different kids. Shit, here. This is a new
Quest?
segment called Tyler Forgets the Name of a Game. He tries to stumble over it for 10 minutes.
Oh,
Yup.
yeah, Broken Age.
Broken Age, thank you, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that was another one. So yeah, there's a pedigree there. There's a lot of good stuff. Yeah, I'm glad you're checking it out. I'll be interested to see what you think of the ending. The ending's pretty entertaining.
I've not seen the ending. I'm curious.
I let myself get spoiled on this one, so it's pretty good. Well, guys, what do you do? Am I missing anything? Did I skip over anything? Look at the notes here. Brian, did I skip any of your games?
I just had a couple this week.
Yeah. Other than I said I was going to mention Heroes, so I played a little bit of Garrosh in Heroes of the Storm. He's real good and bad. Like, he's real fun to play on a team with a friend, because all of his stuff is about like repositioning people to be in a bad position, and if you can have somebody else follow up on that, he's damn near broken.
He's not fun to play against.
Yeah, he goes up, he grabs somebody, pulls them towards him, and then like basically shovels him over his shoulder. So if the rest of your team's ready for that to happen, they can just swallow him up and kill one person instantly. Other than that, he's a big angry orc man with an axe and some tusks on his shoulders, and I'm all about that. So he was well worth the 10,000 gold that I had to pay for him. And then yeah, we're getting Kel'Thuzad from the Warcraft franchise next. He's going to be the next hero to enter the Nexus.
Finally.
Did that doing
right?
anything for you? Yeah, finally. The community's been asking for him for a really long time. They did this cool like animated short to commemorate his release, and they're actually going to release skins for the different heroes that you see in the trailer. So I don't know, Luke. They're harkening back to Naxxramas. Is that doing anything for you? Is that getting you going there?
Does he have his cat?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a talent.
Mr.
Maybe
Bigglesworth? Summon Mr. Bigglesworth?
That'd be a great talent. Yeah, give him a level 20, and the cat just, I don't know, nukes the whole map. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, no, he looks real neat. He's a big tall lich man. He's a big old lich.
Just
and he's
things.
got chains and ice and all kinds of fun stuff, and yeah, just that's
Looks real good.
my jam. So yeah, Heroes is Heroes, and I played some of that too. So there you go. Let's jump right into the news, huh? Here's the music for it. Maybe. Hold on. There it is. Oh shit, Brian, you snuck one in here. Final Fantasy, what is that? 15 coming to the PC?
Yes, sir.
Look at
To the
that.
surprise of no one. Yep.
Right, yeah. I mean, they basically came right out and said that they were testing it like
Yeah.
months ago now. We're working directly with NVIDIA, so that's cool. Get some, oh yeah, with 4K support in NVIDIA GameWorks. Rad.
Luke, you gonna hit that up?
I've said
Or is
from the release that if it ever came to PC, I would pick it up, and still feel that way.
Cool.
Right.
Maybe, I don't know. Now I'm doubting myself. Why'd you ask me?
Come on, Luke, what's
Make you
not to
doubt
like?
yourself.
It's pretty dudes with big swords and riding chickens and having
It's the riding
trips.
chicken part I don't like.
what? Little chocobos? Come on, man. Those are the best part.
Or
And
you
the
had your
hair.
time where you were interested in it, and that time's behind you. And
Yeah, I think it is.
That is
So
a
I've
valid
already
concern.
seen the ending, and I know the middle parts were kind of iffy from everything I heard, so I'm going to put it in the firm maybe category.
It's a solid
Definite
maybe.
maybe.
Solid maybe.
Well, that's good. So yeah, Final Fantasy 15. Get it on the PC starting next year. There
Sometime.
you go. You guys ever heard of a game called Shenmue?
No, but I heard it looks like butthole.
It does look like butthole. Like, so this is now the most successful Kickstarter ever, I believe. I think it beat Star Citizen as far as like funding through Kickstarter itself.
What about those Bluetooth earbuds we were looking at earlier, though?
That our friend Brian got ripped off on? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think this is quite the same. Well, it's kind of the same. They dumped a lot of people dumped a lot of money into it, and they released this trailer at Gamescom, and apparently facial animations are not a thing.
Yeah, they're just mannequin faces.
Yeah,
That's real bad.
it's very bad. Like the best part of this news though is all of like the diehard Shenmue fans that are just falling over backwards to try to like say, well, I don't know what you guys expected. That's what Shenmue looked like back on the Dreamcast. They're saying that like this is some kind of artistic decision that they've decided to go with.
Right.
Stylistically designed to be that way.
Yeah.
So dense.
I don't think that's quite the case. So they actually interviewed Yu Suzuki, who's the game's developer and creator, and he was like, "Yeah, we have facial animations, but they weren't. We took them out of the game because it wasn't ready, like it was breaking. So they had to make a trailer, and so they did, and that's what we got. So yeah, if you were stoked about Shenmue 3." Here you go. Here it is. Enjoy. But yeah, I don't know. Is that a game that interests either of you guys? You gonna pick up Shenmue 3?
Yeah, Brian, are you?
Never played any of the Shenmue games.
Brian,
were they both Dreamcast games?
I believe so. I don't know that 100% for sure.
See, I missed the Dreamcast altogether. So
Yeah, blinking you would have. It wasn't around for long. 99 was a crazy year. Yeah, there you go. There's old Shenmue for you. Shout out to Rachel C, who tuned me into this story. Apparently, Splatoon 2 had a problem, and it wasn't Nintendo's fault for once.
What?
A bunch of butthole players were like, there's like a lobby system, almost like the Miiverse for the Wii U, where you can walk around as your little squid kid, and you can have a thing over your head, and people draw all kinds of stuff and make signs and whatever, right?
you
Like a
can't
little
let
word
people
bubble.
express themselves.
Right, and so there's
It's
like
a mistake.
there was a bunch of people like throwing anti-transgender like hate speech bubbles around in Splatoon 2 for some reason, and players showed up in droves to drown that out with like, you know, pro LGBT signs and stuff. So it was one of those things. This feels weird to say, but it kind of reminds me of what happened in Boston recently, where, you know, they tried to have a hate rally and people just went nope and flooded the streets with unity instead. And
It's
that happens
encouraging
with
to
squid
see.
kids too, you know. Squids squids can do it too.
That's the silver lining in the dark shit cloud that is 2017. Is, you know, when the bad people come out, the good people seem to come out in large numbers to let them know that, you know, your shit's not welcome.
Yeah.
Not tolerated.
Yeah, so that is that's your pro Nintendo moment for the evening.
Hey,
Hey yo, it's not all dark and miserable.
This is a weird feeling.
speaking of
Being positive about Nintendo?
Nintendo,
Hang on
Tyler,
to that feeling, because
speaking
the
of,
thing I wanted to talk about next was, hey, guess what? If you wanted to pre-order a SNES Classic,
oh, Tyler,
hope you did it real quick and at
There it
like
is.
the crack of dawn a couple nights ago.
That's the feeling I'm used to.
Yeah. Apparently Best Buy and Amazon and I think a couple other
Target.
retailers, Target, had had, you know, a pre-order available for a short amount of time, and that seems to no longer be the case. They're all gone.
This is no surprise. Everyone knew these were going to sell out in minutes.
Yeah, it's not a surprise, but what it is disappointing, because Nintendo was like, we are working to resolve these problems. We're going to address, you know, our supply issues, and this isn't going to be as big of a deal. And they still don't have their shit together. It's still bad. So
I feel like I don't know how many they made, but I'm assuming they could have made 1.5 million of these things and they all would have sold out.
I have a feeling that they made a ton of them, and that every time somebody says the words pre-order, they take a sack full of them and throw them in a river. Like, they just... I don't know. I don't know if like Reggie is sitting there just biting his nails, like, every time they complain, I'm just gonna light another truckload on fire or what, but it... For some reason, they just can't seem to make little tiny boxes fast enough to sell to the people that want them.
I can understand the uproar to a point. I just can't bring myself to get, I don't know, to get invested in all this.
It has done a
Hope
great
you get
job
one,
of
everybody.
it's done a great job of making me not care about them. Like I
Yeah.
have no interest in obtaining one of these.
It
Godspeed
would
to anyone who
be
does.
a cute thing to sit on my shelf and be like, oh, I remember Super Nintendo. Those were good times.
Would it be that now, or would it just be like, look what I managed to get? Like it's
Right.
almost like a trophy now that you
Yeah.
even
It's a
snagged
it's a
one.
collector's item, which is what they wanted.
Yeah.
I'm down with collector's items until they start making an actual piece of hardware that
The secondary market. Yeah, it's disappointing that people that just want one to have and play aren't going to be able to get one, but people are going to get them and flip them on eBay for 3 times the price.
Yeah.
when the real shitty thing people started doing was like bundling
Bundling.
their bullshit that they couldn't sell
Right.
with them. So it was like, hey, if you want one of these,
Get a Mega Man arm cannon with it. It's just $120.
right, yeah, here's a Master Chief collector's edition of Halo 4 with the helmet and everything, and it's only $300 for that plus the SNES Classic. Like that kind of shit started happening.
That's
and-
trashy.
It's
Yup.
underhanded. But Tyler,
Yeah,
on Tuesday, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom
Fuck.
Battle comes out, buddy.
Oh boy.
yeah, it does it.
So you're gonna be loving that Nintendo any day now.
Yeah, maybe I can come over to your house and you can we can
Yeah, I'll
Play-
detach my Joy Cons and
Yeah.
we'll play.
bring my Switch and we can manned rabbits to do zany, wacky things that are unpredictable and irreverent. Yeah, that'll be cool.
I am gonna pick that up. It looks like Mario XCOM. I'm just gonna wish the rabbits weren't there the whole time and
Son of a bitch.
I just want to play something on my Switch, Tyler.
Well, I'm sorry
No,
that you
fuck
didn't like Zelda, more.
No, sorry, not sorry.
There it is.
Hey, it's not our fault that you're wrong about that.
Is
Anyway.
it though?
Yeah, you're right. Hey, everybody, are you looking for something new to play?
Yes.
Are you looking for something free to play?
Yes.
Well, hey,
Yes.
have I got the thing for you? Maybe you
Oh,
haven't heard
please.
of it. There's a little game called Brink that came out
Wait.
years ago.
What year is it?
It's well, Luke, we were talking about, games that are like 5 or 6 years old that we've been playing again. Now you can do that with 2011's Brink by Splash Damage Studios and published by Bethesda Softworks. Yeah, get hyped.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Luke Phillips.
How are these servers still running?
I
This
don't think
game
they
wasn't popular in 2011 when it was released.
Yeah,
It's still running under someone's desk at Bethesda.
Someone's gonna
Just
trip
like, that
on a
thing's still
power
on?
cord and
Yeah, we
everything's
should
gonna
get
shut
people in
down.
here.
there's a Dell Optiplex somewhere that's got it's running the SMART system. SMART stands for smooth movement across random terrain.
Well, Smart would have been cutting your losses 6 years ago.
There's no losses to cut. It's free. If you have a PC,
Yeah.
you can download Brink
There
from
are only
Steam
winners here
right
in
now,
this game.
which I'm gonna do because fuck you and your negativity, Luke. It's a free game, and I'm gonna check it out.
Tyler's
Alright.
gonna have fun.
I'm gonna have
Okay.
all the fun.
So there. Yeah.
Like,
Are you gonna? Can you stream it so I can watch you have all this fun?
of course, Luke. I will stream Brink for you, and you're gonna see how I'm gonna just parkour my way over some slick stuff, boxes and stuff, and just I'll probably have a pair of fucking Uzis and just be,
Hey,
It'll be real
hey Brian,
cool.
I have a question.
it'll be real cool.
Every time you hear the word parkour, you think of The
I'll
Office.
die.
Just die a little bit inside. Just
Yeah.
parkour my way
every
through the
jumping thing in a
environment.
video game is called parkour, now.
Parkour.
And
Parkour. Parkour.
That reminds me, I was at the park with my daughter a few weeks ago, and there was this kid who was talking mad game about the parkour he was gonna do, and I was watching him. It basically amounted to him talking a lot and never doing anything. He's probably 12, 13, somewhere in there. And I watched him walk up to what is called a balance beam, And he's like, why is there one of those skateboard grind things just over here in the dirt? I was just like, God damn it. There's no hope. There's no hope for these kids.
Why is there?
It's a good question. Like it was there solely so that he could try to like vault over it and land right in the wood chips, just ass up, butt crack hanging out. Just
ate it,
yeah, he ate it real hard on that skateboard grind thing, also known as a balance beam. But it was some sick parkour.
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 So anyway,
So I
there you
see
go.
that they have what DLC for Brink. Is that how they're making their money?
Sure, I think you can get all of the DLC for like $3.77.
Yeah.
There's like 3 DLC packs. So
Profit.
I don't know, man. I
They're still
wanna check it
charging
out.
$20 on 360 and PS3 though.
Yeah, it's still a physical game, so I don't think they can just hand those out. And I don't think there's a way to download it on PlayStation at all.
Yeah.
So sorry guys. But hey,
It's just a game that will not die.
yeah. I don't know, man. It's free. I'm gonna check it out. There's a guy with dreadlocks and some funny looking guns, and maybe it's not terrible. Who knows, right?
Sure.
Sure.
I think that's
Maybe
the
they fix it in
tagline on the
6
back
years.
of the box.
hey, it was zero money, and maybe it's not the
Remember
worst.
Brink?
There
Maybe
you
it's
go.
not terrible. Possibly not terrible.
Come and get it while it's hot. So yeah, hey, I think that's gonna do it for this week, guys. Unless you got something pressing that you wanna, bring to the table here.
Pressing or depressing?
The floor is yours, Luke. What do you got?
I saw that the script for Half-Life 3
Oh,
got released
God,
by the
yeah,
writer,
I did see that too. Mm-hmm.
and it's basically the final like FU. Like, here's the script I wrote. It's never gonna get made. I have not brought myself to read it.
I skimmed it.
I
don't
don't know if it was supposed to be the episodes, like Half-Life 2 Episode 3 or Half-Life 3. But yeah, the story's out there, and I don't know, it feels like a sad day because just kind of another confirmation that we're never going to get it.
Yeah, I mean the meme is like 10 years old now that Half-Life 3 is coming. At some point, I think we had to just realize that Valve's making their money by not making games right now. Games cost money to make. It's a huge investment. A lot of times people just, it closes down studios and they don't need to do it anymore. They've got, I'm sure, a handful of developers on staff to maintain the games that they've got running, but Steam, baby. Steam's making them all that money.
I know they can never make a Half-Life 3 that lives up to the hype. They can never do that.
I think Gabe Newell has been quoted as saying such, and that's why we haven't seen it. It's a real half-assed response to me.
But it isn't like it's going to make or break Valve.
Can I say something a little bit controversial?
No hot takes.
I'm going to anyway. This is my
That's
fucking
been our show,
platform.
everyone. Thank you for
anything.
tuning in. Quest Log.
So I think the Half-Life games are fine. I think they're good. I think they're fine.
Uh-oh.
I don't think that they're like god tier, like, Holy Bible, lay all of our worldly possessions down at the feet of Valve for giving us Half-Life. Like, they're great games.
Tyler Everett.
Are you a gamer?
Don't scold me, Brian. I know what I'm talking
I
about.
knew your middle name.
We've only known each other for like 10 years, It's fine.
Soon.
Just throw one out there. Starts with an R. Anyway.
Robert.
No.
Randy.
This is a new segment.
Randolph.
One of these, yeah. Keep going.
Richard.
Radagast.
Roderick.
Nope. Nope. Anyway, I don't know. Like, saying that it can't live up to the hype seems like bullshit to me because I thought Half-Life 2 was cool and fun, but I didn't think it was the best game ever made. So
Half-Life and Half-Life 2 both kind of redefined the first-person shooter.
Yes.
sure, yeah.
They took that genre and pushed it forward a lot.
I didn't care about that, but other people did.
It had a cool story. They did cool things with physics that hadn't really been done. The pacing and stuff, the story was all really good. But saying like it could never live up to the hype, it just seems like
it can't.
It's a
The
cop-out.
internet has such a huge boner for this game that you know the internet can never ever be happy about a Half-Life 3.
But as having creative people on your staff and having people that care about that story and want to make it, like, that's worth doing whether or not it lives up to the massive hype that
Well,
neckbeards
that's what I
on the
was trying to
internet
say
have.
until you got all controversial.
Yeah.
Well,
Is
right.
Half-Life 3 is not going to make
Hot
or
takes.
break Valve. They have I'm assuming a tremendous amount of cash in the bank,
Right.
and they're making revenue. They have this business of Steam that's going to continue to generate revenue, whether or not Half-Life 3 is good or bad.
Right. Steam and
And
Dota
so
2 ain't
why
going
not-
nowhere.
Artifact.
Why not pour 3 years into this game, spend a little bit of your money, and they can make a hell of a good game because they could buy whatever talent they wanted to.
I just feel like I think the reason this got leaked is that exactly. Like, the people who are passionate about this and care about it and have worked on it to varying degrees over the years and just want to create the thing that they care about, and Valve is shuffling their feet and saying it's not really ever going to happen. So I'd be pissed. I'd be leaking everything I'd ever done for that game. Whoops, there's all the concept art that I did for it. Oops, there's the models and sound and whatever. Like, there it goes. Whoops. We'll see.
Yeah, it's a bad excuse.
It's sad. You're right. It's a sad.
I know
sad
that it
thing.
won't live up to the hype, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, okay, it doesn't get a 97% rating across the board. It only gets a 92. It would still sell tremendously well, and everyone knows that.
Yep. Well, on that sadder note, I think it's time to wrap it up. Thank you, everyone who tuned in. Shout out to Katie for popping in here and saying hello. I appreciate that. You can do that too. Hop into the chat. Say hi. Let us know you're here. It's twitch.tv/questlogcast every single week. Unless it's a week that we miss it because things are going on in life, which could be happening next month a couple times. We'll keep you posted. The way you could know about those things is if you follow us on Twitter. It's at QuestlogCast. Get all the latest updates about
Twitter.com. Y'all.
show times and scheduling, all that stuff. Give us a little follow on there. You can find the show at questlogcast.com, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play Music. There's one that I always forget. You'll find it. Just type it into the
AOL.
Google machine. AOL.com, all those things. And email us. Send us your questions. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about. It's mail@questlogcast.com. Thanks again, everybody. Brian, Luke, it's great talking to you. And
Pleasure as
everybody
always.
else, we'll catch you next
Until
week.
next time.
Farewell.